also thank you so much for joining us, Maeve. Thank you for being here with us for the conversation and all. We are here back again, and I shall also travel to the next one on my nifty little list. And we are going to... Oh, I love this build. I love this so much. It's the Exercised Coven Cottage. Oh, this beautiful dragon. So...
This dragon, I can tell you, this dragon gave me problems.
It gave you problems, really?
It gave me many problems. I have a name for this dragon, but I know that I can't say it on Twitch, so I'm not going to. Yeah, it's this one problematic from the very beginning.
Oh, problem child dragon.
Oh, it really is.
Yes, you see us again, Toad. I hope you also can hear us again. Because I did put on our sound again. You should be able to hear us too. Look, everybody, just look. Oh, I had the best time here. This was so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I
Mm.
have to say it's not one of my own favourites, just because it was so stressful.
It was stressful, really,
Yeah.
because the dragon gave you so much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry to hear that.
Oh, that's okay. That's just creature building in general, isn't it?
Mm.
But in the end, I was just so happy to get it finished. You know, like it was just one of those ones. I'd had enough. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go and play with meat chunks on EU now. Goodbye, dragon. Mm-hmm.
Mm. It's,
I mean, in a sense, the build was a dragon, in that it was hard to defeat.
Yes, good point.
Like, I feel the same way about my underwater dragon. That one made me tear, I think, from all my builds, except the ones that I didn't finish. I guess those kind of two. It's the one that made me tear out my hair the most.
Oh, but I love
And
that dragon of yours.
I only have the head
so
covered. I don't have the rest of the body.
Like,
Me
I think your underwater dragon, it sets the bar really high for dragons. Like, it's just amazing. I love that one.
Mm.
Thank you.
It's beautiful, yeah. They're both... I mean, you show me something and I will find beauty in it. But, you know, I was so giddy and excited when I saw your name on the list for this competition, for this one. And I was so excited to have a look around. And I knew, okay, there was going to be something there, something very special was going to wait for me. And yeah, and then you turn the corner, right? And you're saying that pathing for you is not very easy, or is something that is difficult, but you're doing such a wonderful job here, because
thank you.
You know, she's waiting there on the house. And so did you start here again with the creature, with the dragon?
This one I had to do the environment first. Just because I had to cover up the original little cottage thingy, whatever it's called, with another cottage. I know, great idea. So yeah, it was more about blocking it off and then trying to make it look a bit glowy and pretty, and then seeing how many slots I had left for the dragon.
Oh my.
I would have liked more for the dragon, more slots, but like I said, it's a balance.
It is.
Something's got to give, you know. And also, I knew that this ridiculous parasol umbrella thing, it's so many slots, but I was like, nope, it is staying. I like my floaty umbrellas, I have to have it.
It's so beautiful.
You know.
That's also something, the movement, right? It's something that I saw, like, when I entered, I was like, oh, look, everybody look. I was very excited also because the color palette is so nice. It's complementary. And I always appreciate when you guys make such deliberate, elegant choices here. Yeah, the umbrella is indeed amazing, Ruben. I agree.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I do like building those. I built a load of those on Xbox. I was always just twisting things around, making parasols and lamps. You know, my lamp building is the exact same process.
Yeah, so perfect. And I think that is also a good lesson for everybody. It's, you know, you can build something like this or learn how to fiddle about with, you know, an umbrella or parasols, or, you know, anything that can be, appearing in our world, but doesn't necessarily appear in ESO. And you can do this without any kind of add-ons. You just fiddle about, turn things around.
And
Yeah, perfect. Absolutely lovely. And also, Agnem was saying both of your creatures are so impressive. I would say all of them are so impressive. I love them so much.
Oh, thank you. Creature building is fun. It's
Also,
my favourite thing to do in housing, definitely.
yeah. Also, Hayden is saying love the umbrella. It has a lot of personality. It has an attitude. I love that.
See, I think Hayden knows the because she messaged one day and she was like, "How's the dragon coming?" And I was like, "Well," like she just got the biggest rant ever of a wall of text. She just got all my frustration. So I apologise for that, Hayden. But she was very good, very helpful. Gave me some a second opinion and whatnot.
Is so helpful. That I do love also that there is some of you do this over and over and over again, which is do this and never stop doing it, helping each other out in situations like these when you struggle. And it can be so helpful if someone else, who might be a friend or who might be a mentor or who, maybe can have a look, can come around and poke around in your build, and maybe they can have, very good tips for you, and you might find them really helpful, and that certainly can, be something this community is so useful for.
Especially if you're in the housing guilds, like if you just put in the text chat, could somebody pop over and take a wee look at this? Somebody always does. It's great. It's a great help.
I always kind of whispers from, "Hey, can you look at my build for a second?"
It's absolutely lovely. And I have also heard from other people that when they decide to, or when they're in the middle of designing something, that they do ask friends to just come around and have a look. And sometimes the encouragement is a little bit more forceful, and sometimes the encouragement is very gentle, and it's sometimes exactly what the person needs to hear to go about something, or and it does help in many different ways.
What they see as well, because you might be fixated on something thinking that's not right, and then they come along and they don't even notice it, and you're like, "Oh, okay, maybe that is okay."
Yeah,
it's like a fresh set of eyes. Like I feel like sometimes you'll stare at something for too long, and
I always think somebody check if there's a hole in my wall.
Yeah. Somebody to go around and jump and try and get out of bounds. I used to do that a lot on Xbox. It's like, come and make sure this place is soundproof.
Perfect. No, it's absolutely perfect. Also, Hayden is saying, dragon is beautiful and hold still so that we can get a better look. Of course. Isn't she glorious? Look at her. And so proud, too. I think she's proud. Do you think so, too? But if you look closely, Hayden says, then we can see the dragon move, swings slightly. Yeah.
Wings were really hard. Like somebody from Xbox that I still speak to, they'd said, like wings can be hard.
Very hard.
Like, yeah, I'll be fine. But yeah, wings are hard.
Wings are hard, yeah, indeed. Also, Ruben says the dragon is amazing.
Thank you so much.
Oh, Zone Chat, really, Ruben? You don't have to do that. There's a whole community. Is very helpful to, if you can have people come around and have a look around. It's so nice. I really love that. And as you say, it's perspective, right? And that's when I start quoting Nietzsche and keep saying that all seeing is perspective. So you are seeing something different than somebody else. And as you were saying, a fresh set of eyes can really help you gain that perspective. And then you might not be all that worried about it anymore. But that's interesting that the dragon, this time the creature came after the environment.
Yep. I think because it's a smaller house as well, you don't have as many slots. It's what, 400? Yeah. You don't have as much to start with, and you're like, right, okay, so a creature and an environment within 400. It's going to be tight, you know. So in that sense, it's good to know how much is left for the dragon. Like, how much can you get away with, sort of thing.
Yeah, and what can you use then to design the dragon? And maybe there are a few slot savers as well that might come into play to help you out. That's different in this part or in this build. I'm so happy to see this, and I mean, even more so that you placed with this. Even
I was shocked.
You were shocked.
I think I just had such a bad time on it that I was like, oh, you know, I've entered at least, just whatever. And then it won something, and I was like, you what? Really?
See?
So, yeah.
So
other people see something I don't see in here, I think. Is how I'll put it.
Maybe. And, you know, maybe the labor, you know, the laboriousness of it being so hard for you taints maybe, for you at least, the perspective that, oh, is it really that great? Yes, it is really that great. A lot of judges thought so. So, and yes, I think that a lot of people might see something here that you might not see. Maybe if you have come here, everybody, and if maybe you've been judging, or if you've just been visiting, because everybody can come visit, please don't be shy, come here, say hello to this beauty, find your favorite spot as always. Maybe you can tell Cheetytarah what it is that you see besides a beautiful, glorious dragon.
Yeah, when I look at it, like, I can see all the bits that didn't quite work. Like, I can still see bits that are wrong. I spot all my mistakes, and I'm like, just, you know, yeah. I'm trying not to say them out. Like, I do that. People will be like, oh, that's really good. And I'm like, no, it's not. Have you seen that bit? Have you seen that bit? This is terrible what I've built. And they're like, all right. I have to stop doing that.
Like, by the time you finish, you usually already have looked at it so long that you're already kind of over it. Like, a lot of people like my bee, and I only see the flaws, to be honest. Like, somebody on Xbox even copied it. And, like, I actually just want to redo it.
I love that bee. Yeah, I really like another one.
The wings are, like, the anatomy isn't correct. It annoys me. I really want to do, like, a big fluffy bee somewhere.
Oh, I love that. I love those.
I have all those beehives, so it's like.
Oh yeah, and there's a pet as well, isn't there? There's a pet just now, a bee.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
There is, yeah. It's so sweet. There is a bee pet.
It big?
It's not that big, I think.
How large is the bee here? Like,
maybe somebody can, if someone has the pet, maybe you can take a screenshot for scale and send it to Soris, please. Thank you so much. Also,
transport, or is it in the crates? Oh, I mean, it is like a torch bug.
In size, you mean?
I think it's like a torch bug skin.
Oh.
I want like a big fat bee. I want like fluffy. I want a large,
like chunky one.
A chunky one. Oh, yeah, I'd love those. You know, bumblebees that look like they can't fly, but they defy gravity anyways. Yeah. I love those. I love those so much. Yeah, I would love those. And definitely yes to a build like that, Soris. Also, welcome back, Lemoon Leaf. And yes, this is such a glorious build. If you've not seen it, come please visit. Bring Chris. And everybody else. This is such a beautiful build. I love this so much. And again, this is so interesting that you had to do the environment first. And of course, you had to cover up the cottage.
With another cottage.
With another cottage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I always end up building them and I think, why am I doing this? I'm not even good at them. I struggle. And yet here I am again. I'm building a cottage. What am I doing? I don't know.
Somebody wants to make me to make buildings. Like, he wanted a castle, a market, and the necromancer cave, and I'm already like, that's too many elements for like one house. Like you should pick two, you know, like do a castle, a necromancer cave, do a market, then a castle. No, he really wanted all three. Then I built him the Cthulhu that I made was originally for that commission, but then he was like, "Oh, but I really wanted this green."
Yeah, sometimes the wishes is too large for any one house to. Yeah.
It did play very well though.
Mm.
I think
Oh,
it must be really
But
difficult
I
building for
eventually I offered him my skeleton. I already had that skeleton, and it was like, "This is green. This is necromancer," and it made me very happy that I just had to copy paste that skeleton.
I mean, makes sense. Makes sense. Sometimes a little gift like that. I mean, not little, but it is a gift. Like that can be already appeasing to some people. So I think that's wonderful and a lovely approach
Oh,
too.
it had to be Necrom, but before
Oh,
Necrom came out, so I had
oh.
to make Necrom with like other items. And again, I'm not good at like at building.
like the structure. Yeah.
So I had to use marker items to make it.
Oh. I think that is. I feel the struggle. I absolutely feel the struggle because I think for others it's the other way around. They struggle with creatures a lot, but structures come to them easily. And I think that is very fascinating that the animal or the living creature is something that comes so naturally to you, whereas a rigid structure might not. I think that is a wonderful difference, and I think there's nothing wrong with it. You mustn't feel any less. And also, I should read a comment by Ruben for you, Cheetytarah. Oh no, this dragon is special. You made it so you don't realize, but it's amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Like I said, I'll not tell you its name.
It's all right.
That one to myself.
It's all right. I have said to people that you mustn't feel like like you can't speak your mind. You certainly can, but of course, it might be so that Twitch might disagree.
Yeah, I can't say this name. Oh, no.
But it's interesting that this one gave you so much trouble, and at the same time, it is the one that you placed with.
I know, it's so strange. And do you know, even the item that I built it from, it's the wood elf grinding stone, I think it is.
Oh.
And I just couldn't get enough of them. Like there was none on the trade, and I think it's because it's such a sort of useless item that it's a luxury vendor item, but like nobody's going to stock up in that, because it's so, you might need one or two.
Yeah, and not more.
It.
Oh.
So it's the first time on PC that I've struggled to find enough of something. Like people did help, I did ask in the guilds and people really kindly sent me some.
I think it's
So I
funny
managed.
because the stuff from like the guild bank that I usually can't get rid of is like reaching stuff. So if you made it only you, I probably would have had some.
Yeah, it's like we collect different stuff when we're building creatures, don't we? It's like a different
I guess
thing.
this full portion of guild items that are like too cheap to really put in like event stuff, like the contest prizes or the auction, because they're like 2k. And they only work in a pack, but they also like clog up the bank, and I just can't get rid of them.
Yeah, I think it's like 450 gold this item, so it's like it's not even expensive.
No.
It's just so hard to come by, and it wasn't even on the crown tab, so I couldn't even just buy them there.
Oh no.
So yeah, right from the start, it was
So this one gave you grief on so many different levels. Oh my, it's a very different experience, or it seems like it was more of a different or difficult experience even in comparison maybe to the Netch in the Moonsugar Meadow.
Yeah, the Netch. I was a wee bit frustrated building that as well, but not in the same way as this. Like I quite like the Netch now, whereas this, I'm like, yeah, it's there, but yeah, I don't know.
Maybe give it time. And you might see what others see in it, and maybe some people are kind enough and will message you and will tell you what it is that they see. And I do mean that, everybody. So if you do see something here that you feel stands out, or that you feel is worth mentioning in many different ways, then don't be shy and message, please, and tell Cheetytarah, because this can be very helpful to make peace maybe with a very frustrating build. Oh, this is very fascinating. I still am a little bit sorry that you had such a hard time both sourcing and building.
That's okay. I mean, it got there in the end. I was, like I said, I was really glad to get it finished, you know.
How long did it take you?
Well, quite a while, because of all the problems getting the item and everything. And like at the same time, there was the Gold Road contest, wasn't there?
Yeah.
This was for Enchanted Groves. And I'd started building for that as well, and I had to just kind of give it up and just focus on this because it was just taking up so much time. So like I think pretty much the whole contest entry time, I was building this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just coming in and just like, just every day I came in to build it and I was just like, nope, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And, eventually it came together. But yeah, it was a hard one.
Yeah, I understand. I see. And this must, I kind of want to take a step back and honor that for a moment, because when you're taking so much time and you are also determined to try to work for 2 competitions, and it's very difficult to do that because they were back to back, right? Yeah. And so when they're back to back, it doesn't leave you a lot of time to build something unique and new for both of those themes, because they were also quite different, the themes, I think. I mean,
yep.
I think they were.
I think it doesn't help as well because I'm trying to keep up on 2 servers. So like, I'm trying to do like daily crafters and whatnot on both servers, and it can take a while. So like, there was a time thing as well. It's like, right, maybe I just shouldn't do crafters for a while and just build. But then of course you need to keep making money, don't you? So it's like
important too.
It's a lot to do. Like, you come onto ESO and you'll never get everything done that you want to in one go. Like, there's always more you could be doing, sort of thing.
Of course. And as you were saying, it's 2 servers. It's not just PCEU, it's also PCNA. And doing, crafting on both servers and a lot more than that, that by itself is time consuming. And when you want to build then for 2 competitions I think you're looking at a petition to extend the 24-hour day to maybe a 30-hour day to accommodate all the time needs?
Yep, maybe.
And Ruben is mentioning the dragon, the environment, the umbrella, the feel, all great. It's unique.
Oh, thank you.
It's so lovely. Thank you so much, Ruben, and everybody else who wants to send messages. This is really appreciated. Thank you so, so much. So this is interesting to have also this side of designing, and particularly with fantastic creatures. So you were saying it took you a long time. It was very frustrating, yet you managed to get there in the end. The inspiration for it, was it the theme of the competition, or was there something else?
No, it wasn't. See, I'm not a big, we were talking about this last night, I'm not really a big storyteller. Like, I just wanted to build a dragon, basically. That was it. And so
beautiful.
Yeah, I could work in this contest, that could fit the theme, and that was it, really. So like, when it comes to making the wee kind of like the couple of sentences of a backstory, I'm always like, I don't have a story. Like, I don't know. I don't have a plan here. Like, what have I built? I'm not sure. It's just a dragon on a roof. Yeah. There wasn't much.
I think that that's perfect. I don't think there is any right or wrong in this, because there were also entries by other designers who didn't have any kind of description, and it was still magnificent. So it's really not
like, if you can tell what I'm doing from what I made. Like, I like my build to be a surprise. And I always feel like the description is a spoiler, so I always try to have it like very vague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Like some
fun or
people,
something.
some people it's all about the story. Like you hear a lot of people, they'll build a house for like a companion or for a character.
Yeah.
And I've just never done it. Like I love seeing those, but it's not for me,
Mustn't be. And I think that, I think that is why we have such a wonderful community, because there is so much variety there, right? And so many different ways of going about it. And as Soris was saying, and I just mentioned as well, you don't necessarily have to have a story, because as Soris was saying, sometimes it makes sense to surprise the person.
I think like in a contest sense that if you have a story, like a story is always more subjective than just a visual image of the theme. And I think that if it's just the theme and not a story, it's more easily recognizable and it will do better. In general, of course, there are of course exceptions.
Of course, yes.
But like if you need like I've had to reject like page-long descriptions because they don't just fit in an entry file, they're just too long. Because and like you don't have to like if you have to describe everything, then maybe it's not enough in the theme.
Yeah, it should maybe speak for
People
itself.
also will sometimes do in descriptions like at the blue bench and blah blah blah. Like people will look at it. People don't need to know it's a blue bench in your description. They will see it. So cut all that out and just have it more compact, because anything that's visible in your house that doesn't need context doesn't need to be in the description. I've had to edit a lot of these for people.
Yeah, and I mean, I will say, in the Enchanted Grove Retreat, there were a few wordy descriptions that were very long. I still read them. I still went about them, because for some people, or some just start out and they think that they have to add a lot of description in, and if there's not a lot of guidance around that, then they might feel obligated to do that. So maybe that is a reason. But as you were saying, of course, and that makes a lot of sense, if you can see something in the build, it's not all that necessary to have it in the description.
Like if you, for example, make like something from Lord of the Rings, add in it's Lord of the Rings, it's this thing from Lord of the Rings. Add in things that they might miss. Add something like please visit at daylight. And like more like they don't need to know the backstory of Lord of the Rings. They're not gonna like if they haven't already, they're not going to watch 9 hours of like great film.
Yes.
Like they should watch it, but not they won't do it for this contest. And I remember like very long ago there was like somebody who had a really big issue that somebody judged a house, but they were not familiar with the source material. But the source material was a 40-hour game.
Oh dear.
So like if they already watched the trailer of that game, they already passed my expectations of level of extra effort they need to take, because they didn't sign up to play a 40-hour game or watch trailers. They signed up to judge a house.
Yeah.
So it's always useful to pick something recognizable. Like I really liked in the folklore contest that people picked more obscure things.
Oh
and there was a contest where like descriptions were like way more necessary than like the small business contest, for example. Like you made a bakery that doesn't need much more explanation.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
One, the source were more important. It's really good to recognize like when does this house need extra context and when it doesn't, because again with like contests that have 150 entries, like I'm already like burned out just looking at a description that's a page long before I've even entered the house. You're just signing house and judge will probably already visit 40 houses before you and will visit 50 hours after you. They don't need to read a full page. They can't handle it.
I mean, I still did it. I still did it, but I absolutely I absolutely see what you mean, particularly in regards to very specific themes that might not all be so recognizable to everybody. So it's not speaking to a larger audience. And I mean, I will say in regards to the folklore contest, when I saw the titles for some of the houses, I was like, oh, this is interesting because I'm a little bit of a geek when it comes to languages and to stories in specific languages all around Europe. And I was like, oh my goodness, look at this. And was very happy about a lot of the entries there. I couldn't cover all of them, sadly. I would really love to go back to visiting more of them because I only had a very narrow amount that I could visit, sadly, there. I was very late to the party there. But yeah, it does help if you need to set context that is not obvious. But if it's very obvious, it's not necessary to, frame it more so. I will say, though, for something that is a story build, it can help if you have something like an introductory kind of, a few sentences, maybe 2-3 sentences to introduce. And then
where are you? Who are you supposed to be when you're visiting?
Yeah.
And like, where are you going?
Exactly.
It just needs to be like simple.
A setup.
And like
The scenes.
the entry, like the description, that shouldn't have to carry the build. Like it's still a visual medium.
Yeah.
It's a very interactive visual medium, but I still have a bit of trauma of visiting. Like, I don't know, remember how many entries it were for that one contest. It was too many every time. Like, there was one description that was so long that it broke the file. You couldn't click on the entry because if it was an Excel sheet,
oh dear.
so it would just skip it. It was just too long. It was too big. So like and like between 150 entries to read like full page, it's too much. But like add like you can add like links. You can add like an Imgur with a reference pic.
Oh yeah.
For example, I think that's a lot more useful than
the full story.
Page.
Yeah. And sometimes setting things into context, sometimes it does help to add a link, as you were saying, and to my mind comes Moonpile and the entry to the Altwalothi Harbor House. Was it a competition? At least it was a challenge. That one was spot on with the link because there is a little bit of a Neil Gaiman reference in it. And if you're not familiar with it, it does help to have that link there. But Moonpie also didn't go into all that much detail in, what needs to be added in the description, besides a few hints as to when you're visiting, what you're supposed to, or which perspective you're supposed to use. And in this one in particular, third person was better. So zoomed out as far as you can, because then you could capture specific frames a little bit better. And then at a specific spot in the build, crouching, because then you might see another specific part of the house. And these hints, I love those. They're really helpful. When you're not familiar with something, you might miss it otherwise. And those hints, definitely legitimate, but I agree, like a page long or 2 pages long description, if the design needs that, it might be worth rethinking a little bit at least. So I do agree there, yeah. Also, Ruben was mentioning that I'm sorry, I'm misgendering you. Their context for their homes is always, don't worry, I don't know either.
I'm glad I'm not the only one then.
No, and again, you absolutely don't have to feel obligated to give us like a whole long description or something. You can just feel free to just note down whatever you think is necessary, and everything else can be seen.
Yeah, Like with my Ebenhard, for example, like I call it my cyberpunk Neo Tokyo kaiju house. And like most people are already probably at lost at cyberpunk Neo and kaiju. But like I do think it's recognizable as what it sort of is when you see it. Because people have already maybe they watched Akira, maybe they've watched Godzilla, that sort of thing. That they recognize, oh, it's this kind of setting. Even without knowing what it is. Like I don't need to add like the Wikipedia page of like what is this kind of style or what does Tokyo look like. Like it's not going to be 100% accurate anyway.
I think also, like, even if you don't know what the build is about, like, for example, I've never seen Star Trek. I know that's crazy, but
It's not.
I remember
Yeah.
when Totes like done her is it the Borg it's called, that build? Like
Oh,
I went
yes.
and I didn't get a single reference because I've never seen it, but it was a great build and it kind of spoke for itself, even though I didn't know what it was
Yes.
all.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And sometimes, yeah, I agree fully with you, Cheetytarah, in that. Yeah, 100%. Because, you know, as you were saying, it was speaking for itself, and you didn't need to get all the references. I mean, sometimes the references are very much in your face, and they're built in your face, and if you are familiar, they will jump out at you a lot, right? But
Sorry.
no, but
No,
but it doesn't, it doesn't necessarily have to, because as we were saying, all seeing is perspective. So that perspective without the information about Star Trek and what the Borg is, it still gives you a perspective.
My Enchanted, no, my Exercise Coven Cottage is based on a 90s Dutch school TV show. So I don't expect like the Dutch people of my age, the old age, they do get it. They get who it's supposed to be, even though it's not like I it's about a worm and a hedgehog. And like I didn't make them exactly in their likeness, but like, oh, it's a worm and a hedgehog. It has to be Moffel and Piertje. And like everybody else, it's just like, oh, it's a hollow tree with large books and a bookworm, and oh, there's a mole there and a mouse, and they don't need the rest of the context because it's like.
I remember seeing that build. I loved it. And I had no idea there was a reference at all. So there you go.
And this is so nice because even though you don't need the reference, even though you don't need the background information, sometimes when you get to talk with people who design these things and you are told about the reference, that adds a little bit more to it, and you can go like, oh, look at that, how interesting, I learned something new today. And that can be about culture too, and it helps us also connect in the community a little bit more.
Yeah, I really liked that about the folklore contest, because it was a lot of the like legends and stuff that I didn't know about, because it's from all over Europe, obviously. Like yeah, I learned stuff. It was good. Good time.
It's wonderful, even. Yes, I appreciated that a lot. It was so much fun. I mean, I was geeking out about certain builds there in particular. I think I was very exhilarated when I saw Baba Yaga by Futako. I was like, oh, look! And so there's a very old movie. I also, when I toured that one, I spoke about that on stream. I was saying there's an old movie, a very old movie, with the Baba Yaga house, and Futako built this so close to that house, and it's hilarious in the movie.
Those are really fun.
It's so fun. There were so many glorious entries too. Also, the Sealy by Lilana, taken by the Sealy. Yeah, and exactly, you learn so much. And yeah, I appreciate that a lot, because not only do you learn something about housing, which is magnificent, because how do you design such beautiful, glorious dragons, everybody? How? You learn something about that, and then you also sometimes get a nice story about it too. Oh my. So, how did you build it? With frustration.
With frustration, yes. There was a lot of swearing, like a lot of swearing. More than
Nothing
usual.
wrong with that.
Yeah, but I was glad it got there in the end. Like, I was glad I managed it. I was glad I stuck with it.
Yeah, good. Good with. I mean, I think the result speaks for itself too. It paid off to stick with it and hang on and struggle through and swear. Absolutely, and it's such.
Enter it anyway, you know, like you never know until you enter it.
Yeah.
If it's, liked or not. Like even if it wasn't liked, you're still entered it. It's still an achievement. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
just to do it.
Yeah, I kept saying that also, that everybody who entered already achieved something very special by participating and showing off what they have done. Also, Hayden, if Ruben wants to do a spotlight with me, I would be very grateful and very, very happy. Maybe you need to push Ruben a little bit to do that with me. I swear I won't bite. It's so sweet. So I was just meandering about this thought and this idea that you just wanted to build a wonderful dragon, and then it fit magically into this enchanted realm that you created here. And it's interesting. You were saying the environment had to come first, right? Yeah. So the environment is very much enchanted, in my opinion. I also really love the little eggs here. I hope everybody saw them too, because she does have maybe little ones.
I like that item, the chorus eggs. Always, if I see them cheap on the traders, I always buy them. I do like them. They're nice.
Oh, same. I made fish out of those.
I was about to say that. I have seen them in fish form.
Copy them and made the exact same fish on Xbox.
I love that. Oh, so sweet. I really love this. This is so sweet. And also there's a little nest here around, and it's all cozy and so comfortable. You can see that she's enjoying herself here, having the best time. So I will also say the house, the little cottage, is so detailed, even though you can't enter. Right? The structure, in my opinion, is still really beautiful. And we've spoken about the lantern before, everybody. It reappears. It's here. It's here. And here as well. And I think in the entree, you have also used... Yeah, it's so sweet. I love this so much that it reappears over and over. Such a wonderful idea to have a specific item that shows up in your builds over and over again. And moths. Look, there's a little moth too.
Like the flying pets, like the wee critters. I like them. The wee bugs.
Oh, they're so sweet too. I do understand that they're really, really sweet. Such beautiful ones too. And so elegant. And they, of course, add a little bit of movement.
Yeah, and you don't really have to path them because they move themselves, which is great.
True.
The poor dog, I didn't even try. I was just like, nope, just you stay there on the mat. Be a good boy. You're not getting a walkabout.
Oh, but is it good? Is the bestest boy, look. And I mean, you've given them a toy. I love that, by the way. That he does have a toy, and there's food for him or water probably in the wall. It's the very nicest thing. You know what I do not like, and is another thing about our wish list growing for Zos. Can we please pet all the pets? Pretty please?
That'd be nice.
That'd be so nice if we could do that. Oh, yes, you're being such a good dog.
Now somewhere they added that after people complain about.
I mean, they have. There's an achievement, right? Connected to High Isle where you do have to pet a bunch of pets around, if you don't know. No, I spoiled it for you. I hope you are going to stumble around it in High Isle if you're getting there. I will not tell you any more, so you're not going to be spoiled any further. It's just, it's so darling, but I wish that there's more.
Yeah, I'll need to do that. There's so much in the game I've still to finish. Like, I've not even finished, like, the Mages and Fighters Guild quests. It's really bad.
I still haven't finished like the last 3 expansions, I think. Every time there's an event for them, and then I need to rush through them in
Oh
order
my.
It just costs so much
to
else
get
at this
like a
point.
reward or something.
Uh-huh. Yeah, like you'll work for a furnishing, but it's like anything else can wait.
Like I don't think I even know what Galen was about. I just had to rush through it to get the reward.
I mean, that's a shame, really, because there's a lot of story there and a lot to explore. So whenever you do get the time, maybe that is also maybe a way in which people can help you and support you a little bit more in your endeavors. Maybe carve out some time so that you can indeed go and have a look at those. Maybe there's some way that they can do that for you. Maybe instead of going about getting a lot of furnishings or plans, you might be able to instead go ahead and explore a little bit more. Maybe in the future there is.
I like that they're all individually voiced. You know, I think the quests in this game are really good compared to other games like this.
Right.
They are enjoyable, but like there's just so much, especially if you come over from console and you've done it all already, and you're like, God, I've got to do all of this again. It's a lot, isn't it? Like it's just such a huge game at this point.
It is indeed.
Oh, when I started, I really felt like, oh, my main is going to do the DC quest, and then I have another alt that is going to do the other quest from this one. And like, why did I ever start on doing those quests on alt account?
Yeah, I don't even
Like
do that.
nowadays achievements are shared, but like you still can do the Cold Harbor with if you don't have already done them, all of them on one character.
Oh my. I mean, I only do. I've only, I only ever do all the things on one tune on the main, and everything else is not important.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah, just don't have the time for it. I was gonna focus a little bit just for a moment because you were saying you're not all that great at, constructing a wonderful cottage, but this is a wonderful cottage. It even has a little, handle, a door handle here, a knob. Look.
See, that's the thing. Like there is windows and doors in the game, but I always just prefer to try and cobble my own. I think I don't know why really, but it's just got more of an appeal to make something yourself than just plonk on a. I mean, there's nothing wrong with plonking on like a window or a door.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
I think to make them is quite fun.
It is absolutely fun, and also it is unique, right? It adds a lot of character and personal touches, and also preferences, even, right? And I do love that there's a lot of detail here and layering on that door and the frame and what you've used here. It's so nice, and I think everybody should pay attention to those minute little details. I know it's very tiny. I know not everybody's going to pay attention to that, particularly because she up there is watching us. It's
the good thing as well about making your own door, like a lot of people if it's the visitor permissions, they maybe don't want them to go in a room, but the door will open. It's a good way of stopping that because it's clearly not a door, it's just I don't even know what it was, a wardrobe or something.
Yeah.
So it just takes that whole thing away of I want people to visit, but I don't want them to have to open the doors, sort of thing.
Also a good point. Yeah, and I think a few people have done that with also covering up doors that exist already. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And helps you in the pathing and closing off areas of the house and giving you a little bit more room in the sense of slots for her up there. Right. So I totally see that. But again, I just want to make sure that people do see there is detail here, and a lot of it, tiny little details. So the wonderful candles, and there's a toy here for him. and water and a doorknob, and it's such a wonderful custom build. And I don't think you should feel like you can't do this. You certainly can.
Well, I certainly keep trying.
And never stop. Do not stop. You know, one day we will have a conversation and you will tell me, guess what? There is an actual structure, a real house that you can visit.
They will build castles.
Maybe.
Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe one day. Also really love the little detail here. And there's, again, as you can see there, the little wonderful candle.
Oh yes, that's 1, 2. How many have I got in here? 3,
4.
4. Was there one at the door?
I think. Or maybe I'm mistaken, but I think.
Oh no, that was the green ones.
Oh, that's the green one. Yeah. So 3.
I've got 4 of them in here.
It's so wonderful. I love this so much. It's so. And yeah, the green one. This is, of course, Shipwright's Regret.
Yes. Yeah, I like that one.
Beautiful. You know why I like that one as well? Because of the eeriness, the atmosphere that they create, and how it bounces off on foliage and stuff.
Yeah, it's a nice light. It's a really nice one.
Really beautiful. And for that, of course, what do you have to do to get it?
You just run through the dungeon, I think, don't you? Just a normal?
Yeah, but you still have to run the dungeon. So not only do you have to do a lot of crafting in both realms, you know, you also have to do dungeons to get specific furnishings. So, oh, look at him here.
Yeah, they make us work for our house, and they really do.
They do. And so there's a lot that goes into it, and I just want to highlight that a little bit. Oh, somebody's climbing. Ruben, you can jump down. I will try to catch you. Or you can climb further. Yeah, it's certainly, yeah, the mail slot too. Good point. Though, yeah, I mean, mail slot down here, of course, very important. Getting the mail.
Oh yeah, the letterbox. That's right.
Maybe let me crouch a little bit. There you go. You can see it a little bit better, hopefully.
Americans won't know what they are because they all have what do they call them? Like the
mailboxes.
Yeah, the mailboxes. Yeah, they won't know what a letterbox is, but we have them. We have them in Britain.
Of course.
Oh, interesting. But like, even the ones that have an apartment, they should have a mailbox.
No, we always have letterboxes on the doors.
That's why, you know, sometimes very vigilant little felines or dogs decide to function as letter openers.
Yes.
Yeah, I really love that. All the detail. Also, thank you again, Ruben, for reminding me of the letterbox that as well. Is slot, that is. It's just so important, right? It's very, very small, minute details, and it makes so much sense to have a look at all of it. I think I meandered about when I was here about party flowers. I always say party flowers, but you know what I mean, right?
The pink ones.
Yeah. Yes. I love how everybody finds use for them, and this one fits so nicely in here as well. Also really love the lighting here. It's so nice. It's just really, really wonderful.
Thank you.
Great color choices here. Oh, Dappin, that's so sweet. Oh, dogs love to help delivering. This is the sweetest thing. Oh, you know, you mustn't discourage that. I mean, so what? You can't read the letters anymore. It's not important.
You know.
Yes. I was meandering about the Fadi flower because I have seen it put to good use, either as in Pack Garrett's build in the Tartaros. I think that was an entry to One More Housing of last year, in the Cold Harbor Real Estate, and the Farty flower appears in the very unexpected part of the house with an ogrim having a very difficult diet, and thus
Oh.
little bit of pinkish flatulence escapes him from time to time. And then I have seen someone use the farty flower as smoke from a chimney in a very beautiful moon sugar meadow build. And Truss, I think, also used the farty flower to simulate wine in a wine press in their was it Autumn's Gate? I think it must have been Autumn's Gate. It was definitely for Gold Road Visions. I really love that you guys find so many wonderful, ways in which you can utilize all the different furnishings here. I really love what you've done here. All the detail, and just it's also transformative because there is a little bit of the original plot peeking through from time to time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you've transformed it and given it such a magnificent inhabitant. And also love the little flying pets are so wonderful all around.
I do like those.
Yeah. Understand why they're so wonderful to, help liven up a place.
Yep.
Beautiful choices. Also, the color palette is very nice. The green and the pink. Was that a deliberate choice? With
sort of. I was trying to keep it fairly muted. I wanted bright colours, obviously, but I didn't want every colour.
Yeah.
I tried to keep it a bit muted.
Right. You achieved that for sure. It's absolutely stunning. So beautiful.
Thank you very much.
And there's one more question that I have for you for this one. Maybe someone else has another question for you. But what is it that you are hoping that people take away when they come visit?
Probably, but even if you have such a hard time, don't give up, I suppose. Because, this was a hard time. It wasn't easy, but just keep at it, and it might turn out okay in the end. It probably will.
Keep at it, people. This is perfect, Cheetytarah. I love it so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is true, Ruben. The eye does move easily. And it is, I do like when you guys go with a little bit of a complementary contrast, because then certain parts of the plot or certain parts of the design can shine a little bit more, even if it's just complementary in, a very muted way. I think that definitely adds to it. And it's very easy to look at. So beautiful. Thank you so much also for entering here, Cheetytarah, for entering into the competitions and for participating, for letting me ask all those questions.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
It's such a pleasure. I really love this. Also, very good point, Ruben. Failure is just an opportunity to try again. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go. Keep trying. Definitely.
Don't give up, people. Yeah, and this is a very good lesson. I really love this. It's a very good point that is being made by the both of you. It's really wonderful. Glorious. Now.